Hello and welcome into Pat's Picks, episode 11 on the quest to make money on the NHL playoffs. Not an easy task. We had a few losing days in a row there, 2 or 3, but last night we went a perfect 4-0 and made about $105, I want to say, $100 around. So we love that. That's a big boost. I think we're only down $15 total in the series. Remember, this is not me telling you what to pick. This is just Pat's picks. This is a discussion thing more than anything. And that being said, if you want to join the discussion, please leave a comment with your picks today. A comment of if you think my picks are wrong, what you think is going to happen. But let's talk about last night because I was perfect. And I have an extra bet that I hit last night that I didn't include in the video yesterday. I live bet. I want to show you that because I think it's a pretty fun one. So let's dive into last night real quick. The overs have hit for me. Over 6 in Edmonton, Vancouver. Over 5.5 in Florida, Boston. Boston looks like they're kind of toast right now. Brad Marchand probably looks like he's not going to be playing in Game 4 in Boston. It might just be a Florida runaway at this point. I'm a Bruins fan too, but I'm not feeling too good about the Bruins right now. It just feels like Florida is a lot faster, a lot more talented than the Bruins. And the Bruins winning around, finishing second in the division. At the end of the day, that would be a good season, but it's always not fun to go out in the playoffs. But at the end of the year, I feel like Jim Montgomery did a lot with the team he's been able to do. But that being said, it's not over. Maybe they go to Old Mark in Game 4 and they can make the Florida Panthers sweat this one out a little. Bruins did this versus Leafs too, where they'd have some terrible games and then respond with some good ones. So they're not dead in the water yet. But it's hard to see them finding a way to win this series versus Florida, if I'm being honest. Oilers Canucks, that's probably going to hit the over. It's going to go at least 6 most games, I think, just because of the talent on the ice on both teams. 2-pick parlay, I did the over 4.5 and over 5.5 together. 25 to win 30. That was a bonus bet that I had from losing an NBA bet. No sweat bet. Use your tokens if you got them. If you're on DraftKings, by the way, use those promotions. A lot of them are pretty good to boost, especially if you're a low-wage gambler like myself. Edmonton winning, you felt like they were going to bounce back in the last game, and they did. And then I actually lied about this. Is one I wanted to kind of flex about, if I'm not lying, is Evan Bouchard, overtime game winner. I bet this in between the third period and overtime, and he scored pretty quickly. He had 4 shots in regulation, was third on the team in shots, and had insane value. Played on the first power play unit, so I thought, why not throw a few bucks on Evan Bouchard? And I got lucky. He threw the puck to net, hit off the Vancouver defenseman's stick, went in the net. And that's $110 right there that I didn't have before that. So we'll take that. Always fun. Always look for guys with value who are shooting that night. If you're putting the puck on net, you might get lucky. It worked for me with Carter Verhaeghe a few weeks ago with the Panthers as well, and I won $80 there. So, if you play this smart, you can actually hit these occasionally. Let's talk about tonight, though. 2 games on the docket. Carolina, a decent favorite at home versus the Rangers, trying to avoid getting swept. And Dallas going on the road to Colorado, split in 1-1 at Dallas. So now we're going to Colorado. Can Colorado win both home games and take a clamp on the series? I think that's possible. Tonight, I think the Avalanche win, but over 6.5 is the over/under as well. Interesting. So let's talk about the Canes Rangers first. So my plays for this one, 2 plays, simple plays. My favorite bet of the night is probably Igor Shesterkin over 31.5 saves. He's easily cleared this mark in back-to-back games. Game 2, you might say that went to overtime. He hit this well before overtime. He hit this mid-third period or early third period. And then last game, he hit it by the end of the second period. The Canes are really putting it on the Rangers for most of the games. I think the Canes play better at home too, especially with the last change. So I kind of expect the game to be played a bit similar to Game 3. I really think that Carolina is going to be very motivated to not get swept. They got swept last year in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's hard to see them getting swept 2 years in a row, although you have a very opportunistic, skilled team in the Rangers who have a lot of guys who can hurt you on the counter. And that's going to be key tonight is if defensemen like Jalen Chatfield, Brent Burns, Slavin, if they can limit the turnovers and limit the odd man rushes, Carolina can win this game. But if they give up a few too many like they did last game, it's going to be tough. And I feel like mentally they're kind of beating themselves up because they should be down 2-1 or even up 2-1 in this series with how they played, but they cannot finish. And New York Rangers fans are trying to say they're not getting outplayed. You are lying to yourself. You have Igor Shesterkin standing on his head in the net, facing 40 shots a night. You have talented players who can score. Shut up. You're not outplaying Carolina at all. You're getting outplayed. You're just making the most of your opportunities. That being said, the Igor one can hit in a win or loss for either team. I think regardless, like the Rangers can win this game getting outshot heavily because they are talented. But they are getting outplayed, and I expect that to continue in terms of pace of play, shots against, shots for. Over 5.5. I think eventually Carolina is going to break through Igor a little, and I think the Rangers are just too talented not to score 2-3 goals a game. I think Carolina is going to have to score 3 or 4 to win this one. I think they're probably going to have to score 4, to be honest, because the Rangers are really just pouncing on their chances. I don't see that changing. So I think this is going to be a 4-3 game. Flip a coin on who you think is going to win. I'm not betting on Carolina after the way they've choked the last few games. Wouldn't happen. They choked the lead I think it was game 1 where they choked the lead. It's really just been a horror show for Carolina. And one thing I will say, I'm not betting on this, but if there's a team that can reverse sweep, Carolina's the team. Wouldn't bet on it because they can't finish, but with the way they play, if they can start to find some puck luck, some shooting percentage going up, you never know. You really don't. But I've seen it happen to my Bruins before. It's not fun. For the sake of Rangers fans, it probably won't happen, but you're going to be living in a world of hell if it does. So let's talk about Igor for a sec just to back this up. He had 57 shots against in game 2, the one that went to overtime. He was well above 40 before overtime, and then he was well above 34, 35 last game by going into the third period. So this looks pretty good if the games go the same way they've gone the last 2. So Igor, bet with confidence, bet the over 31.5. That's my recommendation for tonight. Let's talk about Avs and Stars now. As I mentioned, the Avalanche are home favorites. No surprise going back to Colorado. Splitting the series in Dallas is about what you would want. The Bruins did that to Florida and then squandered their opportunity in Game 3 to take advantage of home ice. That being said, Colorado does not have the offensive ineptitude that Boston has right now. Colorado's flying. If they go down, they can get back in a game, and that's why you like the over and you like Colorado. Colorado's going to have last change at home. They can take advantage of the lesser D pairs for Dallas, specifically Niels Lundqvist, Chris Tanev. So I expect the over to hit there because Dallas's depth is better than Colorado's depth. Like, that's not even a question. So they should be able to chip in some goals tonight, Dallas, but Colorado getting Nathan McKinnon out there against the bottom D pair of Dallas's defense when they're out there, which I believe that's actually Niels Lundqvist and Ryan Suter. Chris Tanev had a rough game last game, though, so I think that's why I just assumed, because I feel like this top pair for Dallas, Harley and Heiskanen, is very good, and I feel like Esa Lindell and Chris Tanev last game left a bit to be desired. Suter and Lundqvist, a bit to be desired. I think the left side is pretty strong. I think Heiskanen's good. Tanev and Lundqvist, I kind of got some questions about, to be honest, from watching last game. That being said, I think the over, just Colorado is going to take advantage of the matchups at home ice and put in a lot of goals. I think they could score 4 to 5. I'm not really as high on Dallas as I was going into the playoffs. That being said, I'm not sure if I would bet on Colorado to win Game 4 if they win Game 3, because I think Dallas is a good bounce-back team. I'm starting to lean Colorado winning this series. I think their goaltender, Georgiev, has stepped up a bit and has played good enough to get you through. I think their defense is very good. I think their forwards are getting it done. I think Val Nichushkin is going off. He scored in like 7 or 8 straight games. He might be someone to throw some money on a goal scorer prop. I won't do goal scorer props because I don't really like the odds on them ever. They never pay out what I feel like they should. So I'm not touching that. But I think Colorado wins tonight. I think the over of 6 hits. And just to show you something interesting, this is Colorado's schedule from April to May. Colorado has not had a game go under 6 goals since April 1st. That is 19 games straight, if my math's right. 7 there, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yep, 19 straight games. I'm hitting the 6 mark. So that might be a bet to look at too tonight with confidence. I like the Igor bet. I like that bet. And I feel like I'm probably going to get the Avs to win or the over 5.5 in Carolina and New York. I think there's a good chance I go 3-1 tonight. And I'm not telling you all these picks will always hit, but I feel pretty good about these ones going into tonight. And bet with confidence. Tail my picks if you want. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow to recap my picks from today and go over my picks for Sunday. Should be a fun day of hockey and basketball if you follow basketball like I do. I'm not qualified enough to do videos on basketball betting, but I do put a few bets down here here and there. Well, I'm going Thunder spread today and Celtic spread today. Should be a fun one to watch those two games too. So enjoy the sports, guys. Gamble responsibly, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Peace out, guys.